Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Time Pass with the New Indian Express. I have with me the extraordinary Rajkummar Rao, who changes his appearance, his characteristics. I know it's called acting, but we don't normally see such fine acting on Indian screen. So it's a pleasure for me to welcome someone I've admired for a very long time, Rajkummar Rao. I'm so delighted to welcome you. Thank you for doing this. How
Thank
are
you, ma'am.
you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm in
Good.
Chandigarh, in a bubble. We're about to start a shoot on 30th.
Okay.
I'm just locked in my
You're
hotel.
and you're in that space where you're prepping for a new role. I
Yeah.
know you take it really seriously. Can you talk a little about what you're doing? What the next film is?
We still have to title it. It's not titled yet. It's a film which is being directed by Abhishek Jain. It's his first Hindi film. He's made a
Right,
film called Be in Gujarati language.
right.
And this is a film which has me, Kriti Sanan, uh, Paresh sir, Ratna Pathak Ji.
Wow, what a terrific combination of people. And you've worked with, I think, all of them at some point or the other. Not
I
with
think
Paresh.
minus Ratnaji. Paresh
Yeah,
sir, I worked in Made in China in a
made
couple of
in
scenes.
China. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
but with
So,
Ratnaji, yeah, no.
yeah. So, Rajkumar, it's quite extraordinary how you change, with every film. And, it could be the slightest thing. For instance, for Newton, the blink or the hairdo. But it makes such a difference. So, when a role comes to you, what is it that you decide, okay, this is what I want to do for this, and this is what is exciting me?
So what gets me excited is the story overall.
Right.
The script overall. And if it's a character, then which is amazing, like in Bareilly, I loved the story, but then I saw Preetham Bidrohi. I thought there's so much scope as an actor for me to do.
Right.
I really could enjoy so much, playing this character with two, dual personalities. So sometimes just the story, sometimes it's story and the character. Like with Newton, I love the simplicity of Newton. I love the sincerity and the honesty with which they wrote the script. And then when I come on board, I try and bring in some of my own elements. That you just give an example of Newton, that with the hair and maybe a little bit of blinking in the eyes, just to make it exciting for me as an actor. Otherwise just keep doing the same thing gets very monotonous after a point.
I don't think anyone can accuse you of monotony. I think every
And
every role
very,
that you do is so extraordinary. Talk a
very
little about Ludo and Chhalaang, because we're seeing both films almost
yeah,
back to back, and it's very exciting, I think, for you. Although they were
yeah,
supposed to be released earlier, but
yeah.
and now to sort of come into the public domain again after this enormous lockdown. What's it like again to be with audiences?
I am very excited for both the films. Both the films are very different
Yeah,
genres. One is a crime comedy, which is Ludo, and one is a sports drama comedy, which is Chalang. And playing two different parts altogether, coming from two different backgrounds. They look different, they talk differently. So I'm excited. I think it will be fun to see. Like one day people are watching Ludo, next day they're watching the same actor doing different things. So I'm excited for that part to witness. Uh, they coming together also, like I didn't want these films to come together, of course, at the same time, because I
right.
thought people should enjoy one and then after a gap maybe the other one can come. But both are very special to me. Like Chalang is directed by Hansal Mehta
Yeah.
and Hansal sir, and written and produced by Love sir. These are the people I really admire and I really like their work, their writing. And Basu, of course, Anurag Basu, our Dada, he is yes. And playing this really, I was really playing out of the crease in Ludo. I was, I was not in the defense mode. I was just hitting I was just trying to hit the ball. So I've gone full on in
Right.
Ludo, and I've given it my everything. This is the first time I'm trying something very very physical with my ball. Like there's a lot of physical comedy in it.
No, even from the trailer, the way you're announcing the dishes, it's hilarious.
You have to wait for the introduction of my character. It's
Okay.
a 1 minute monologue where I'm just reciting food items. It's like a menu and dancing like Mithunda. I think, yeah, looking forward to that.
And the hairdo and everything is sort of
It
very
is like full Mithun.
disco. So did you model it on Mithunda or what?
I did. It just happened because we were doing our look test, different look tests, because I want to, like, both of us wanted to give this character a certain look. and we were trying different patches of hair patches, and then we tried this one, and then Dada said, "Arey, ye to Mithun lag raha tu." And we thought, "Ki why not?
Yeah.
Let's base this character on Mithun Da." And Dada is such that if you give him ideas, he's very open to it. Then he just changed the whole character and the background, and he just made it so easy for me.
Yeah, in a way, it's like the other part of Pritam Vidrohi, all out and
All out.
completely
Yeah.
nuts,
Yeah.
which I think people really get, and how often have you been called Pritam Vidrohi when you
Alright.
go out and meet people?
A lot. Someone told me there are groups on social medias called Pritam Vidrohi.
I can imagine. What about Chhalaang? Because again, it's again quite a physical role. You're a coach, and yet you have this obvious crush on this teacher, and your competitor is Zishan. How is it playing that?
It was great fun because Chhalaang is set in Haryana, the story, which is my home ground.
Right.
I am very much familiar with this world, with these characters. So I knew the language, but I'm out of practice for a couple of years now. So I had to go through to my initial days and talk to my family members and my extended cousins, and just to hear them out, just to get used to it again, all over again. And then to play this PT coach who's so laid back and he doesn't understand his responsibilities at all. He's just doing it because he was supposed to do a job, and he just got this one. So I think it's very important for in a way with this film we're also trying to tell everyone that how whatever you do in life, you have to do it in the right way, because that is your responsibility. That is the job given to you, and if you don't do it right, something might get affected. So I think it is very important for people to understand, which I think in a way Newton was also trying to say.
Absolutely.
But I just it's a first light-hearted fun film that me and Hansal sir are doing together.
Yeah.
He is a very funny guy in real life. People, of course, can't judge him with the kind of filmography he has, but he is a lot of fun. He's not a serious guy. He's not a serious, that you only talk about serious issues. You can talk with him about that as well, but he has a funny side, which very beautifully came out through this film.
In fact, you talked about Hansal, and he has often talked about how close both of you are as well. And he also talks to you about a lot of his problems. He's often told me that, whenever he had to share, say, a trauma that he was going through, he would come to you and talk about it, and you would just sort of hear each other out and just having a listening board,
Yeah.
So how important is it for a young actor, Rajkummar, to have an ecosystem of people around you like Hansal, or even, in your personal life, to stay sane, to stay afloat, to be charged all the time?
It is very important. Especially, I think this pandemic has taught us that you have to be, nothing is permanent.
Right.
You have to be, there has to be some people out there who you can count upon, who are there for you. And Hansal sir is definitely one of them. He is, again, it's same goes for me. If I'm ever in any situation, I think I would definitely call him, and sure, he would always be there for me. But I think it is important to have friends. I have so many friends who are not from the film industry, so it's important to keep that reality check. And also, I'm someone who tries to portray reality on screen.
Right.
So I can't distance myself from reality, because if you can't be real in real life, you can't portray reality on screen.
Absolutely.
You can't be that person. So I talk to my friends about everything, from film to about everything in the world that is happening.
Right. So, Rajkummar, when I look back, it's been 10 years in the industry for you. Quite extraordinary, even in terms of the range and depth of the roles that you've done. And beginning with such a genre-breaking movie like LSD. I mean, it was truly revolutionary at that time. I remember when it came out, we were stunned, all of us. What is this? So talk a little about going from there to the kind of movies you're doing now. Do you feel the Hindi movie narrative has progressed, or has it regressed?
It has definitely progressed. I think, and I think the credit goes to our audiences. They have definitely evolved. because they have now very easy access to all the things that are going on in the world. They have access to international cinema, they have access to French cinema, to Korean cinema. So now somewhere I think they did start expecting the same kind of content from us as well, from our
Right.
industry as well.
Right.
That look at that, what they are making, and
Yeah.
why can't we make such stories? Why can't
That,
we make such big films like Bahu? Why can't we make Bahubali
yeah.
the worlds? So I think that's the reason I think makers have also realized that now we have to push our boundaries. We just can't keep selling the project. We just can't keep selling the same story in a different package.
Hmm.
So that's the reason I think new generation of filmmakers and writers, they are writing such heartland stories about characters who are characters which are so relatable. You feel like these people, this
Yeah.
world. You become a
Right.
part of that family, of that
Right.
group. And I think our audiences also now want to see actors playing characters on screen
Hmm.
rather than playing themselves.
Over
I think
and over again.
yeah, I think that's the reason. Like most of actors like me, and with me and like a lot of Ayushman, Vicky, Ranveer, so many Ranveer, Karthik. We're trying to slowly, push that boundary and trying to explore it even further.
How important is it for you to have the kind of writers and directors whose vision matches yours? Do you have enough of those?
As of I think, fortunately, whoever I worked with till date, we have always been on the same page.
Hmm.
I think we knew the reason why we were making that film. We were making it because we wanted to tell that story very sincerely, and not because nobody was aiming that let's do this because it sells.
Hmm.
That thing has never come up as of now in my career. Nobody has told me that sir ये बिकता है, ये कर देते हैं.
Uh-huh.
Like, how do you know ये बिकता है? ये
Yeah.
फिल्म में नहीं बिकेगा. So I
Right.
think we were very sure the kind of films that we wanted to make. It was about being really honest to the writing material, to the given material, and that's what we always do. And as I said, in my case, I've been very fortunate that the kind of directors I work with,
Yeah.
they have that kind of trust in me.